Hey, what's up? Hey, we're doing the Zach Nichols podcast right here with my boy here. Yeah. Get over here. Get over here, man. Get over here, man. I don't give a fuck. Hey, thank y'all. Tune in. Check it out. Bye.
All right, here we go. Welcome back to the Zach Nichols podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Pasta Pierre.
We are back.
And for the first time ever on the Zach Nichols podcast, I can finally say everything's fucking set.
Is everything set?
Everything is set for the quail hunt. We got Tony Raines, Tony Time in the house in Detroit for the first time ever.
Fucking let's go, baby.
Let's go.
Awesome, man.
If I could, I'd tackle you right now and give you a big ass kiss. Fucking love you, dude.
You definitely owe me a kiss
Fucking love
because I gave you one on Vendettas.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Dude, legendary. New Orleans to Detroit. Come on, man. Two iconic cities coming together for this one.
Detroit versus everybody.
You know what it is. That's a nice t-shirt you got there, man. Very
Oh, I got the Barry. You know I'm representing.
Oh, yeah.
You know I'm representing.
We're gonna
Now look, I'll tell y'all. I got a Barry, right? I got a Barry. I wanted to get the jersey, but my budget, it wasn't fitting in the budget. I wanted to get a jersey, a Barry jersey, but nah. I also wanted to get a Tom Brady Michigan jersey.
Ooh.
I wanted to wear that for the podcast. But you know what? A little too rich for my blood. So here I am with the Barry shirt.
I love it.
It looks
And
great.
look, I'm trying to represent for Detroit. Love it. Detroit versus everybody, baby.
Probably Detroit's most beloved athlete, I would say.
Barry.
And that's what I thought. I was like, when I think of Detroit Lions, like when I think of Detroit, when it comes to sports, besides the Pistons, because you know the bad boy Pistons, whatever.
Yeah.
When it comes to Detroit, I think Barry Sanders.
You have to.
So
He's got a statue now.
here I am. Does he?
He has right outside of Ford Field, even though he never played
If
in
we
Ford
go
Field.
to Mount Spaghetti, you'll see the statue.
Spaghetti. That's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother thing. It's gonna Detroit
nother-
weekend.
Funny story about Eminem
That's
stories.
Another.
Anytime
topic.
we were on the challenge, I would always be like, Tony, check my lyrics. And he'd give me the lyrics so that because we don't get music there. So he'd be like, this is actually the lyrics. Because, you know, I'm not.
Oh, you were rapping it.
I would just, we'd have to have something.
Well, hey, that's funny. So, a cool story about Zach and Jenna.
Okay.
And about me and my wife as well, because I love my wife dearly. But it was cool. We were on Vendettas, and we were talking about something just with our wives or whatever at the time. Well, with our girlfriends at the time, I guess you could say. And he knows I'm a big fan of Eminem, and he was like, "Man, yeah, I love Eminem. I love that." And we're actually talking about the "Love the Way You Lie" Part 2 song.
Yeah.
But we resorted back to the line that he says in the love the way you lie part 1, where he's like, tie
to the bed and set the house on fire. If you ever try to leave.
He's like, if Jenna ever tries to leave me, dude, straight up, like I'm playing these lyrics to her, and it's like, sorry, baby, but I tie you to the fucking bed.
Yeah.
And set the house on fire. You're not going anywhere.
Hey.
Because you're not gonna be with nobody else.
No.
You gotta be with me.
Nah.
So and that's the same way I feel about Alyssa, dude. It's like crazy. And he knew what shocked me was like when I knew he was like a true, like he knew what's up. When he recognized the lyrics for the part 2 when it was on Rihanna's album, Love the Way You Lie Part 2, which is Hush Baby, Speak Softly. Tell me you're awfully sorry that you pushed me into the coffee table so I could push you off me. Oh. Dude, that shit is like powerful, you know what I mean? Because when you love somebody, man, sometimes you'll have them spats, you know what I mean? And when you have that fire,
it gets toxic sometimes.
It gets a little toxic.
That's the best stuff.
You got to flirt with it a little bit. Teeter that line. Those are the best kinds of love. And that's how you know you found the right person.
100%. And that's what makes this trip so special. Thank you for being here for the live show. But I'm so happy we got to meet the family. We got Alyssa, we got Isla here.
Hell yeah, man.
That's a blessing, man. Because it's a family show. Are we not?
I say all the time, when Pierre gets a little bit raunchy, I say, dude, this is a family show.
Yeah.
Let's dial it back. Look, this is
one time we had Anthony in the show.
This has been on the show.
I was rolling back all the footage, dude, and I saw Anthony in your orange one time, and I'm like, oh damn, okay. So it's okay that Isla came along for the trip.
Okay, it's encouraged.
Absolutely.
Oh, we're so happy to have her.
Dude, this is basically The Price is Right. This is Jeopardy.
Oh yeah.
This is a family show, dude. We're gonna start airing this podcast at 4 p.m. On Monday through Friday.
On PBS.
On PBS.
Yeah. Kids channel.
Not the Kyle episode.
No, dude. The Kyle.
Dude, I'm sure the Kyle episode was crazy.
Yo, it came out today. He was not PG.
He sucked off the mic.
That one.
And he's got a kid. He's supposed to be PG and PBS now.
No.
Nothing has
Nope.
changed besides the fact that he's like, basically, he was like, I just care about adult stuff more now. He goes, but I'm the same person inside. He said, you know how he has live free on his knuckles? He says it should say mortgage.
For real though.
He's out of control.
Oh yeah.
Morgue, like going to the morgue, you're dead. Ige.
Yeah.
Mortgage.
Yup, all that.
That's the worst when you get a mortgage.
I want to go over some of these accolades. We got
Let's
some
hear 'em.
accolades.
Let me hear it.
We got 9 challenge
I ain't got that,
seasons.
I ain't got that, man.
You got 9 challenge seasons for 20. You got the final in Vendettas with this guy right here. And we did Chance vs. Stars, which you got to win there. 20 daily wins, that elimination record, you know, real world and all the good stuff. Man, our true MTV kid in the house. One more round of applause for Tony Reigns.
And I would have to say that Tony Time is the most meteoric rise in challenge history. And
Big.
I
Big.
was the person who I rode that wave. And it was almost like I went to a horse race and I was like, you know what? I'm going to put all my money on that horse.
Mhm.
And that horse won the Kentucky Derby. And that's kind of where I want to start this podcast, because what people don't understand was you kind of like, I had a really, like, in the challenge, to be very successful, you have to have that person who know, like, it's like you got your back to back holding your guns, and it's like, I got your back no matter what, you got my back.
Hell yeah.
And you came into Vendettas, and people don't know this, but Tony was like very ill, like to the point where like we were afraid you were gonna get sent home.
It was this close.
Yeah,
If I would have got fever going to the first challenge, when they checked my temperature.
right.
Going into the first one with the balls, you had to go in the pit and put
Yeah.
the balls out with the KY jelly,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck we had
Yeah,
to do.
yeah.
They if I spiked fever, you had to go home.
Yeah. Oh wow.
And so,
Just like that.
so what had happened was
That's why I wasn't part of the picture.
Right,
Remember, I
yeah.
was out.
you were in the cast picture. But what was crazy was I had watched a couple of the seasons, and Tony came in when I kind of took my break. And before that, my guy was Jordan. But what had always happened to me before was you got this alliance of OGs who liked us. But what would happen is you'd work with them, and then you'd get to the very end, and then you were the first one to
You
go.
fall off to the bottom.
Yeah, they're
Yes.
like, okay, well, it's just
Yes.
us left. You're the odd man
And
out.
then you're like, oh God, well, almost like, I hate to say, like, oh, your feelings are hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, but you
sure.
because it felt like you were like in the brotherhood.
Yeah.
But then it's like, oh yeah, you gotta go.
Yeah. You're crewed up until you're not.
Right.
Exactly. You know, it
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
Like, so what I said to Tony was like, I said, hey, listen, I said, you have like, I know how you feel with them, and that's how I've always felt. So you and me got this. We're going to roll together. And I would say Vendettas, and I text you, I watch it often, but
It started on Invasion though.
I
You might
did.
not know that, but it started on Invasion. The seeds were planted.
Yeah, I did. I talked to you.
I left the week after you got there.
And I left the week after you left.
Mhm.
And I had a couple good conversations with you there. But I didn't realize, like, when I did that, I didn't realize that you were going to have like the most dominant season ever.
It was.
It was huge. And then like I kind of was like, okay, like I'm gonna let you do your thing. Like the whole bananas thing, like they gave me that first vote, and I was like, I'm not gonna vote for bananas, even though I know you and Kayla were, because I wanted you to have your moment. I didn't want to steal that. Not that I would have, done it anyways. And I didn't watch that season before we went on to Final Reckoning. And so we're gonna get deep real quick because I want to get this off my chest.
Good.
And then I didn't watch it. So before I went on Final Reckoning, everyone was like, Tony tried to screw you over, Tony tried to screw you over. And I'm not gonna lie, like at that point it hurt me, right? And I had no kids, but you did. You had 2. And then I called you out at the bar and I said, hey, I heard that you wanted to throw me in. And I didn't really truly understand it, but Kayla and Carl were the ones that were like, yo, like, no, we're not doing that vote. Now that I have 3 kids, especially I have 2 daughters, that move makes total sense to me.
100%.
100%. And here's the other thing. What had I really done for you up until that point besides invite you into a few troikas? So we had that conversation at the bar. I'll never forget it at Final Reckoning. And I said, hey, that hurts. And you were like, production got in my ear and told me it'd be iconic. And I couldn't do it. And I regret even having that thought. Now, that same night, I said, that's okay. You have kids. I get that move. And I said to you, I will never, ever say your name. And what was crazy was the next night, we're going into this elimination round, and I'm like, holy shit, the votes are locked. And I remember going up to you and Bananas before we went there, and I said, don't worry, guys. I got this.
Yeah, fucking
Because here's
gangster, dude.
my point with
Gangster.
that moment was you are the reason why I brought that money home to my family and you didn't on vendettas, on all honesty. And so, and in my head, I'm like, I just had this like heart to heart with you. I just told you, no matter what, your name will never come out of my mouth. If I go in there tonight and I just fold for the sake of the game,
Mm-hmm.
who am I as a person? So there was no question in my mind that that was going to happen for sure. Like I knew that it was going to get locked up. I was going to, you know, I told you guys, I was like, I'm going to just try to like say their name, say Hunter and Ashley's name real quick, even though Hunter was cool.
Before they say it that way, they
Yeah.
get down there.
And it didn't
maybe
work.
TJ would be like, yeah.
And I knew that Amanda wasn't going to fold. So I said, you know what? If I just had this heart to heart with you and we squashed all that and everything was good. And I, the next night say, hey man, it's the game. Who am I? You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, had you and Johnny not gone into that janky elimination round and you guys went to that final, it was a wrap.
That concludes the free preview of the Zach Nichols podcast.
So go to Patreon and subscribe to see the rest of the shit that we talk.
Go do it now.